The Ford Fiesta is one of the most familiar sights on UK roads, and while a sales success doesn't necessarily guarantee excellence, it remains one of the best small cars money can buy. It's as good to drive and affordable to run as a small car should be, but it punches well above its weight when it comes to refinement and driving appeal. And while cheaper versions are a little short on equipment and power, if you go for mid-range versions and above, you'll get a car that's well equipped and great to drive. Most engines provide decent pace, although it is worth upgrading from the 59 brake horsepower 1.25 litre petrol engine to the more powerful 80 brake horsepower version. The 99 brake horsepower 1 litre EcoBoost engine is our pick of the petrol range. This turbocharged 3-cylinder engine delivers all the power you're likely to need, meaning you don't need to go for the more powerful 123 brake horsepower version. It also works really well with the automatic power shift gearbox. The diesel range kicks off with a 1.5 litre TDCI unit, which pumps out just 74 brake horsepower. But thanks to some sensible gear ratios and decent pulling power, it's just as much at home around town as it is on faster roads. Nearly all of the 1 litre petrol engines and every diesel emits less than 100 grams per kilometre of CO2, which should help bring down tax bills. Fuel costs are also pretty low, especially the lower powered diesel, which returns at 52.3 miles per gallon. One of the most appealing aspects of the Fiesta is the way it combines small car fun with big car sophistication, and that's true of the way it rides. Steer clear of the larger optional alloy wheels, and the Fiesta deals with bumps and poor road surfaces in a way that no other small car should, with a ride that's smoother than many more expensive cars. Watch out too for Zetec S trim, which brings firmer sport suspension that doesn't help the ride quality. Thanks to its sharp handling and precise, well-weighted steering, the Fiesta is a humble sports car that's as much fun to drive as some sports cars. Keen drivers will love its responsive, composed nature on demanding roads, but it's the Fiesta's ability to put a smile on your face on an even most mundane journey that's most endearing. You sit quite high in the Fiesta, but the driving position is commanding and it outscores many of its rivals when it comes to comfort. The seats are also supportive and provide unusually good long-distance comfort for a small car. It helps that there's lots of adjustment to the driver's seat on all but the entry-level studio version. There's also two-way steering wheel adjustment, while the gear lever and pedals are ideally placed. The dashboard is something of an acquired taste. The main instrument readout is clear, but the centre console is cluttered with buttons and switches. It works well enough, but it feels a bit clunky when compared to some of the Fiesta's new arrivals. Every version gets USB and auxiliary sockets, while Zetec models and above come with a digital radio and Ford's sync system, which allows you to make and receive mobile phone calls while driving, and control music from your phone or MP3 player via simple voice commands. It's a very clever system and it works well. Titanium and Titanium X versions bring a Sony designed infotainment setup. It has a couple of extra speakers, but the interface is no easier to use than Ford's own, with lots of small buttons scattered all over the fascia. The funky shape looks great, but it does compromise visibility slightly, with small rear side windows and additional quarter-light windows behind the windscreen pillars. Even so, the Fiesta is as easy to see out of as most small cars, and its slightly raised driving position helps. The heated windscreen is a major boon in winter and is standard on Zetec models and above. Front and rear parking sensors are available for all but most basic trim levels, while a rear view camera is an option for some models and standard on top spec cars. It feels solidly built, but it doesn't have the premium air of a Mini or VW Polo. The top of the dashboard is pleasingly soft to touch, but the plastics on the lower part of the dash and on the door panels look pretty unappealing. Cheaper models are also significantly less glitzy inside than higher spec cars. The boot is a decent size and usefully deep, but with only 290 litres, it's only average in its class. The seats do fold forward though if you want to increase the boot size. You should have enough space though for the weekly shop, even with the rear seats in place, but you should check that your buggy fits before committing. An adjustable boot floor that allows you to store fragile items away from bulkier luggage is available as an option on all but entry-level models. The Ford Fiesta is the UK's best-selling small car, and it's also one of the best. Okay, the interior might be a little drab and the resale values only average, but it's great fun to drive, has a smooth ride and is impressively refined. For more information, search for the Ford Fiesta on whatcar.com, and to stay up to date with all our video road tests, click subscribe.